Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 27th of June to the 3rd of July 2022. And as we were talking about last week, it feels like something big has changed. There was a sense of pausing over the summer solstice, which is the 21st to the 24th, and with Saturn turning retrograde as well. A sense of going inwards as we enter the half of the year where the sun is on its decline towards the winter solstice. And Saturn is doing a very fundamental job of taking us back to our core, showing us how to work energetically with our authentic vibration. So this week it feels like the tide has turned, something deeply hanging in the balance. A lot of what we were holding on to is gone now, leaving space for us to manifest from deep within, but without any effort, without any doing or trying. What we are, we attract. So last week was a chance to pause, to reflect, to be still. And solstice literally means sun stands still. But this week we've got a couple of powerful aspects, and there's a lot of masculine energy around. Although the sun is going through the sign of Cancer, which is the divine feminine, midsummer water sign, on the 29th we approach the new moon in Cancer at 7 degrees if you're following along with your chart, and that's at 3:50 in the morning UK time. But on that day we have Jupiter making a square to the sun, and both the sun and Jupiter are masculine energies. Both of them are sovereign power, our own inner light, our ability to expand and transform, clearing obstacles and claiming our power. So although a square can be a tricky aspect, this new moon starts a new phase where I feel we can expand into the space that we've created and really start to feel how we create from deep within. So the sun and the moon together in Cancer, squared off with Jupiter in Aries, all at 7 degrees. Have a look at where 7 Aries and 7 Cancer is to see how that's impacting your personal charts, planets and houses. By the time we get to the 1st of July, we have Mars square Pluto, and those are two masculine aspects as well, the earthly masculine and the divine masculine. So like I say, although Cancerian energy is the mother energy, we've got these two squares going on, which are both concerning the masculine energy. And masculine can be doing, active, electrical. With Mars and Pluto, that can be the will, there could be a struggle of wills. Having a look where we need to give up the lower ego to the higher plan, die to the old, to rise up, to be reborn, with that Pluto phoenix-like energy, the inner alchemy, and again reclaiming our power. So it could be quite a challenging week. Just observe what comes up. Are you coming from the lower self or the higher self? Are you trying to hang on to the old, still make things happen with mental controls and plans? Lower desires and fears? Can you use any irritation or frustration to realise that that's exactly what you need to let go of in order to claim your sovereignty and work with these alchemical energies? So I feel it's through our intuition and the waters of our body with Cancer. If we can quiet the mind and not be busy, we can actually sense the changes that are going on, feel into the space, the subtle awareness, the potential, and even use these squares as healing aspects as we move from one way of being to another. So there is a sense of space and potential, a huge degree of not knowing, as we used to try and control the future with plans and thinking ahead. And now as we let go of that paradigm, then sometimes it seems like there's a void in front of us or around us. But actually everything's vibing with full potential. And this is a year, especially with Saturn retrograde in Aquarius, that's dominated by the Fool card in Tarot, which is the wise one that steps off the cliff with full faith and intuition, harnessing the vibrational universe and letting go of those lower control mechanisms. But as the sun and moon are in Cancer, Jupiter's in Aries, as well as Mars, and Pluto is in Capricorn. All three of these are what's called cardinal signs, and they have the aspect of wanting to control and push forwards on the mundane level. So the real challenge this week is going to be one about control and surrender, lower desires and higher knowing, breaking through and learning how to work with the Aquarian energies of 2022 and beyond, to actually start to create from our vibrational essence, to set the tone within and call into us what we want, and let go of the old way of coming from fear and trying, attachment, holding on, working towards something. So that's the way of the electric. We're now going into the magnetic, which is calling towards us from what we're being. It's a hard one to describe, but for those of you that are sensitive, you'll already be picking up on the desire to do less, to try less hard, to not chase old goals, work in the old way. And after last week, to sink back into the space, center on new higher desires, and become the vibration that you want to attract. So a very deep and slightly challenging week. Watch what comes up, especially on the 29th and the 1st of July, as these squares will bring valuable lessons. And remember, we're letting go of one whole old system of restriction and limitation, separation consciousness, and we're moving in to a new soul-centered, vibrational, manifestational way of living, which has no roadmap. We've not been here before. These are exceptional times. And the more we clean ourselves up, the more we're centered, the more we're sovereign, the more that affects the collective field, and the more that actually brings in positive change in the outside world as well. So be the change you want to see is a phrase that really applies to these very strange and exciting times. And with the new moon in Cancer, Jupiter square the Sun breaking through, and Mars square Pluto rising up, then I feel the theme of this week is the tides are turning, and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. So although we might not see our way ahead, there's a faith, like the Fool card. And if we come from our deep inner guidance, then what's going on the inside actually affects what we receive on the outside. So faith and surrender, meditating on unlimited potential, and letting go of struggle, I feel, are the jewels that this week will bring. So if you'd like to see where this is happening for you, I am available, zoeastro7@gmail.com. Very happy to give you guidance on your chart where all this is happening for you, where you can focus your attention for the most harmonious, less effort, more gain, energetic way of being, or coaching, where we can dig up at the roots any blocks that are still limiting you or holding you back. I also love teaching tarot and astrology intuitively, so if you're interested in embracing these ancient, powerful arts for yourself during these Aquarian times, then I can customize lessons at your own level and pace. So a deep week, a couple of real high points there, some necessary tension, but just know that we're going from one system to another. That's never been easy, but we have chosen to be here. So embrace the lessons and walk the path with honour and dignity. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.